Hey everyone, got a super windy winter weather version of Alviso Crit. Look at these long pants. It's California winter, baby. 55 degrees and sunny. Got to get out the shoe covers. So it's pretty windy for this one. This section's a headwind. This guy in front of me throws down some big watts. Happy to follow that in the headwind. My move that I was trying to do during this race was coming up on this next section after we turn right, that this current headwind becomes a crosswind, and I was trying to go hard on that section and put it in the gutter so that people wouldn't get the draft. Everybody's got to work hard. So come around him. Now we're in the crosswind. I'm going to go to the right. The wind is coming off our left, and so I'm going to go right up against these parked cars. I'm not going to let people be on the right-hand side of my draft, and I'm just going to speed it up here. Making a little dig. Had a few like this. Was feeling pretty strong in this race. These Alviso crits are only like 30 minutes, so you don't get that tired. It's great. But you see another attack goes over the top, which is expecting, but everybody just kind of sits up and watches it go. So their gap starts to go out. I think the group had already been whittled down at this point. Didn't start with like a ton of people today, but it's pretty aggressive racing all day. Just like whittled down the group until finally I think we had 6 or 7 people in the lead group at the end. But still a few more left at this point, and this first group of 3 went, and it had a couple of pretty strong guys in it, so I didn't really want to let that go away too much. But there still seemed to be some impetus in this group, so we are chasing here. See that guy throws a little move, but everyone seems to be working together. Another kind of theme of the day was the traffic seemed to come at like poor timing in terms of like people attacking. So like there's a couple of times where people attacked like right into the back of a truck or that sort of thing, and you have to stop, and it's like a waste of your energy in that regard. But you can see us working together. I still just want to follow wheels on this part of the course until we get to that crosswind section, and then it's a little easier to make a move over there. But you see the group just in front of us. My plan was to let this guy in front of me pull as long as he would, and then I would come around on this tailwind part, and I didn't really mind throwing down the watts on the tailwind, so I'm going to come around and just put the head down and bringing these guys back. And then I noticed towards the end of the straight this like slow moving truck. I probably could have let off a little just because I knew that truck was going to slow them down, but get a little assist from the truck there and bring this group back. The guy in the yellow here and then the other guy on the front in the dark blue both ended up being pretty strong at the end of the race, and we all ended up in the final selection, and they were kind of the guys to look out for once we had that smaller group. So I think, yeah, that was a pretty dangerous move that just there. So glad that one's back. A little reshuffling. Everyone just kept throwing moves. Everything kept getting followed. Might just post the whole video of this because it was pretty active racing the whole time. But anyways, gonna skip ahead to the end. We're down to like 6 guys, I think, and here's the guy in navy blue I was talking about, and we're coming into 1 to go, and I knew somebody was gonna light it up. So that's why I was sat at the back of the group there and try to follow him. I was like in the best position of everyone in the group to follow it, but you can see this gap isn't coming back. I think I decided I'd just go head down and chase through the corner and then flick the next guy through, and everybody would work together and we would chase him back. Because you can see my heart rate's over 180. That's pretty darn high for me. But come through the corner and the gap is still reasonable. He's still right there. And I flicked the next guy through and you see my power go down. I wanted to be off the front and nobody wanted to come through. And we're still like a whole lap to go. And I was a little worried this would happen. I took a lot of like emphatic full arm waving to convince one person to come through. And then I didn't want to like go all the way to the back because I thought somebody would attack for sure and there'd be like a reshuffling. Because I didn't think anybody would just let him ride away like this. But I guess maybe everybody is just tired. But anyways, we're just going to watch him ride up the road. I'm doing like 100 watts here and I can't get off the front. And he's just gone at this point. You see a little move here. That's kind of the theme. somebody would make a little move, and then everybody would jump in, and then somebody would make another little move, but they were all kind of like pretty half-hearted moves, like not really a big commitment. And like accidentally like freewheeled kind of far up the inside there. Didn't really want to be there, but see that little tack go. Now I'm on the back, which I think is in a pretty good spot coming in here, since kind of resigned to racing for second at this point, since we've definitely let that first guy go. Guy in the yellow has been pretty strong all race, so I was kind of waiting for him to do something. I thought being on his wheel is a good spot. He looks back there. I was like, he's about to light it up. And sure enough, he goes. I followed. He left me plenty of room to get in the draft, which was nice. That he flicks his elbow here, and I didn't really want to come through to the front, but when he flicked his elbow, he set up like pretty hard. I was like, all right, whatever. So I dived down the right here, and it's just a Tuesday crit, so I was like, I'm just going to take this to the line and see what happens. For tailwind sprints like this is, you do want to go earlier than normal, but not this early. This was too early. Maybe launching like, I don't know, here-ish might have been good, but still have like a few hundred meters to go. I didn't want to be on the front. I think I looked back there and saw I had maybe a couple bike lengths, so I decided to get out of the saddle and hit it. The finish line still feels like it's forever away at this point, but it's just a Tuesday crit, so I'm just like head down, trying to get one last good effort in. And I actually held him off a lot longer than I thought I was going to. Still doesn't come past me yet, and he actually doesn't come around to like right there. And the race finishes at this seam in the pavement right here. So, not so bad. Thanks for watching, everyone. Come back for the next one.